Welcome to Hero Villains. Superman and Trigon are both powerful characters in the universe. Trigon and Superman are both powerful entities in the DC universe, but their differences in nature make their confrontation interesting. Superman, a Kryptonian, absorbs solar energy to gain extraordinary powers, including super speed, unlimited strength, and heat rays. Meanwhile, Trigon is an interdimensional demon born from dark energy, possessing magic, reality control, and psychic powers far beyond many entities. While Superman may be physically overwhelming, Trigon has the advantage in magic and manipulation, making their battle unpredictable. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications and click the bell icon. Thank you very much. Superman can definitely defeat Trigon, and here are some convincing reasons for this statement. Trigon is considered an omnidimensional being, meaning he can interact with all dimensions and realities. However, this does not make him superior to Superman. Superman has faced threats of similar magnitude in the past. One clear example is Dr. Shea Veritas's claim that Superman can lift and move an omnidimensional wormhole even after not being exposed to sunlight for 5 consecutive days. Furthermore, he can do this after being weighed down by the entire mass of the Earth. The only thing that prevents him from doing so is the risk of destroying the planet. Superman's power in the New 52 is still a testament to his extraordinary abilities. While considered weaker than his post-crisis counterpart due to the fact that he is only half his previous strength, a result of the manipulation of the timeline by Dr. Manhattan, Superman still demonstrates abilities far beyond normal limits. Before Scott Snyder established the 6th dimension as the highest level of the DC multiverse, this meant that Superman was familiar with fighting against entities with powers that transcended conventional space and time. All things considered, Superman's strength, durability, strategic intelligence, and adaptability are enough to ensure that he could fight Trigon in a head-to-head confrontation. Superman not only possesses overwhelming strength, but has also faced off against armies that exist across all dimensions. However, one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for Trigon's ability to defeat him comes from a remarkable event. Bizarro, a failed clone of Superman, once killed Trigon by ripping out his heart. It is important to emphasize that Bizarro was only an incomplete clone, far inferior to Superman in intelligence, fighting skills, and power control. If an incomplete version like Bizarro could destroy Trigon, then there is no reason why Superman with his superior strength, experience, and fighting ability could not do the same, if not more easily. This does not mean that Superman could defeat Trigon with a single blow. However, he certainly possesses the power to kill Trigon if the situation calls for it. In the events recounted in Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 2, Trigon was defeated in a surprising way when Bizarro, an incomplete clone of Superman, ripped out his heart and then replaced him as the King of Hell. This was a controversial moment, especially for Trigon fans, who argued that he was not at his most powerful at the time of his defeat. A similar situation occurred with Dormammu, another powerful entity in the Marvel Universe. He was trapped in a time loop created by Doctor Strange and then completely destroyed by Galactus in his own realm before the war actually began. It should be noted that I am not comparing Bizarro to Doctor Strange or Galactus, characters who are on a completely different level. However, the way Trigon was defeated was just as disappointing as the way Dormammu was eliminated, when even characters considered flawed, like Bizarro, were able to defeat an interdimensional evil like Trigon. Trigon is a powerful being with incredible feats. He has resurrected a fallen angel, slaughtered gods, and has shown no fear of divine beings like the Voice or the Phantom Stranger. Trigon is even considered to be on par with Spectre, the entity considered the right hand of the Presence, one of the ultimate powers in the DC universe. These achievements show that Trigon is not just a common demon, but a force that can challenge even the most powerful entities. Meanwhile, Dormammu, one of the most powerful entities in the Marvel Universe, also possesses incredible feats. He created Satanish, an entity that can rival Mephisto, and once confronted the Trinity of Ashes, whose power is on par with the Vishanti. Dormammu also fought Slorioth, damaging the eye of Shuma-Gorath, an ancient and extremely terrifying creature. He even destroyed Giro, a host of the Phoenix Force, assisted Eternity in sealing Zom, and even in a weakened state, he was still able to fight Eternity alone. It should be noted that Eternity, along with Infinity, is considered the pinnacle of the Marvel Universe, representing the existence of all reality. These feats show that both Trigon and Dormammu are forces of power far beyond ordinary beings, capable of threatening the entire universe. Contrary to popular belief, this event cannot simply be dismissed as plot-induced stupidity, PIS, as Bizarro was not a weak or entertaining character. Bizarro was created with the intention of being a version of Superman with the power equivalent, and in fact he almost achieved that. Even Superman has admitted that Bizarro possesses incredible power. He has said that if Bizarro knew how to control and use his powers correctly, he could become stronger than Superman. This is not an unfounded statement, but rather a reflection of Bizarro's true potential. Superman himself has not been fully aware of his true limits for a long time. It was during the events of Our Worlds at War that he discovered that psychological barriers were preventing him from reaching his full power potential. It was only through training with Mongol that Superman began to break through some of those mental limitations, unlocking a new level of power. Both Bizarro and Superman have one important thing in common: they are both hindered by certain barriers that prevent them from reaching their full power potential. However, in essence, Superman still has the advantage, because Bizarro, while powerful, is still an imperfect copy of Superman, with certain intellectual deficiencies. Therefore, if both were at their strongest, Superman would most likely be superior. The fact that Bizarro killed Trigon is a clear indication that Superman could do the same if he really wanted to. In terms of destructive power, Superman has even been directly compared to Trigon when he destroyed a holy dimension in Hell. This further reinforces the idea that Superman's power is not inferior to powerful cosmic entities and is fully capable of facing the likes of Trigon in a real fight. So Superman is stronger than Trigon, and note that I'm only limiting the representation of Superman without amplification. Silver Age Superman and the entire population of Earth are not strong enough to pose any significant threat to Trigon. Even at his lowest power level, Trigon is at least on par with, or even superior to, Darkseid or Orion. According to Orion lore, Darkseid is essentially a schemer, often caught up in his own complex schemes. However, Superman, especially when considering his more powerful versions in the higher dimensions, can access levels of power far beyond what Darkseid or Orion can achieve. His presence in the 5th and 6th dimensions, which are populated by beings of superhuman power, further strengthens his ability to take on opponents like Trigon. Subscribe to the channel, it helps us a lot, and moreover, you will get to watch awesome videos every day. You are the best. Thank you very much. Additionally, there is evidence that Superman has absorbed or harnessed the power of an entity that is comparable to the Presence, the ultimate entity in the DC universe. Trigon, after the Crisis event, is said to exist on a level superior to Mordru, an entity that is considered the embodiment of the Great Darkness. This makes perfect sense, since Mordru during this period was permanently amplified in power. Mordru amps are not temporary. In his base state, Mordru was comparable to Merlin and even superior to Lucifer before the Sandman era. Given this fact, Trigon, an entity that even stands above Mordru after the Crisis, is clearly one of the most formidable enemies in the DC universe. Unless Superman uses a more powerful upgrade like Superman 1,000,000, Cosmic Armor Superman, or Thought Robot, a base level Superman would have a hard time overcoming the sheer power of Trigon in a straight fight. In Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 2, written by Scott Lobdell, Red Hood, Artemis, Bizarro, and a few other teammates face a massive invasion plot taking place on Gorak. The plan is being carried out by the Untitled, a somewhat boring group of villains. This time, the Untitled appear to have allied with Trigon, posing a much more serious threat. Their goal is to either take over Earth or carry out a recurring plot that readers have seen in other storylines before. Whatever the specific reason, the Untitled and Trigon's partnership poses a dangerous situation that the Outlaws cannot afford to take lightly. To carry out their plan, the Untitled opened a portal from Hell to Earth, using a strange dimension as a medium. While the Outlaws were able to deal with the remnants of the Untitled, their more important task was to close the portal before Trigon had a chance to pass through. Failure would have been disastrous, as once Trigon set foot on Earth, stopping him would have been nearly impossible. As a diversion, Bizarro decided to sacrifice himself and fight Trigon to buy enough time for the Outlaws to close the portal and destroy the place. And the Outlaws succeeded in closing and destroying the portal. It also happened that Bizarro actually killed Trigon. That's right, a Superman clone was able to defeat the ruler of Hell. At least the art was good. Now that Bizarro has killed Trigon, Bizarro becomes the ruler of Hell by default, and to ensure that the demons do not escape to Earth, he decides to stay in Hell and watch over it. Look, I like Bizarro as a character, but this is going to be a little too much for people. The scans above show Superman using his vision to track subatomic particles and using heat vision to influence them. So Superman's vision goes beyond the microscopic level and can actually reach the quantum level. As you can see in the scans above, as soon as he enters Earth's atmosphere, he allows his mind to pick up every sound on the planet, but only specific sounds. Superman's priority. This is when Superman unconsciously suppresses powers for a year during the 52, not to be confused with the New 52 event. But when his powers return, possibly due to subconscious training to suppress his powers, his mind is stronger than ever and his senses are all over the place. The fight between Trigon and Superman is one of the more dramatic ones. Superman is one of the most powerful beings of Kryptonian blood, able to punch through reality, travel faster than light, and possess near limitless strength in sunlight. He has defeated cosmic level opponents such as Darkseid, Doomsday, and even the Anti-Monitor in some versions. However, Trigon is not an ordinary villain. He is an interdimensional evil able to easily rule the entire universe with his will alone. Trigon has destroyed thousands of worlds, manipulated reality at will, and defeated powerful entities such as the Titans, and even the Spectre in some versions. Trigon's magic is a factor that Superman has difficulty countering, as Superman himself is not completely immune to magic. Trigon is superior to Superman as he has the ability to destroy the universe with just his mind. Without support or special upgrades like Superman Prime 1 million, Superman will have a hard time winning. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much.